Welcome to The Adoption Show, where every week we shine a light on the incredible journey of shelter dogs and the heroes helping them find their forever home. Across the country, we meet thousands of dogs waiting for a second chance. Here, we meet the dedicated individuals and organizations making that possible. Join us as we explore heartwarming stories of hope, resilience, and the unbreakable bond between humans and their canine companions. This is more than just a show, it's a movement, and together we can make a difference, one adoption at a time. You ready, guys? Let's go!
On the Adoption Show, saving lives is fun together. On the Adoption Show,
Welcome to The Adoption Show. I'm your host, Amber Aquart, and today we're meeting amazing dogs from shelters all across the country. And if you adopt one through us, we're gonna send you a special gift to help you and your new pup get started. So let's begin.
Nova is one of Frederick County Animal Control's most overlooked dogs, and staff just can't figure out why. The 3-year-old hound mix is gorgeous, with a stunning yellow coat and a big grin. But she's not just a looker. Nova has brains and personality too. Nova is also happy to settle in for some affection, whether that means leaning in for pets or flopping onto a lap, all of which are accompanied by slobbery puppy kisses.
Meet Monkey, a 1.5-year-old terrier mix with a spirit that simply refuses to quit. This sweet girl came to Paw Safe Animal Rescue after a difficult start in life, but she never let it dim her light. She is social, friendly, and full of love, with a tail that seems to wag all on its own.
Meet Mandolin, a Chihuahua mix from a cruelty case who's eager for love. Mandolin is kind, gentle, and of course, motivated by treats. This well-mannered pup walks nicely on a leash and enjoys the company of people. When you take Mandolin for a walk, you'll quickly see how happy and excited he is to explore the world. Despite his difficult past, Mandolin is a people pleaser who aims to put a smile on your face.
Meet Brock. Brock is a handsome pup who is as sweet and playful as he is charming. This 2.5-year-old boy has moved around a lot in his short life and is now on the hunt for his forever family. He's a fantastic addition to any active household, whether it's an adventurous couple, an outdoorsy family, or anyone seeking a hiking or running buddy. Kid Brock is quick to pick up new obedience skills and tricks.
Meet Babe. Babe is a friendly and athletic 3-year-old hound mix who's ready to bring joy and energy to your home. With her outgoing personality and enthusiasm for adventure, Babe would love to be part of an active family or with an individual who enjoys outdoor activities and staying on the move. If you're ready to add an energetic and athletic dog to your life, Babe is the one for you.
We just met some incredible adoptable dogs, and now it's your turn to act. Head to the shelter's site or scan the QR code to start the adoption process. And don't forget, if you say you saw them on The Adoption Show, you'll get an exclusive adoption kit from us. From coast to coast, we've met so many amazing people making a difference. This week, we're shining the spotlight on someone whose work is truly saving lives.
All dogs deserve second chances and new beginnings, but in traditional shelters, historically, senior dogs who are so special and so perfect were considered unadoptable. We believe that we should be here for them even through their golden years. When Muttville started, we knew that dogs of an older age just weren't getting adopted. They weren't having a chance. So we started just one dog at a time, and it's become a movement. Muttville started 19 years ago, and the word is out. People flock to Muttville to adopt the senior dogs, and now statistics are showing that nationwide, the life-saving rate for senior dogs is going up and up. So in our first year, we adopted 27 dogs. Today, we are taking in about 27 dogs every single week. I can't wait to take you inside of Muttville's Adoption Center and Community Center And you'll see it's full of dog lovers and mutts galore. And this is Willard. Willard just got here 2 days ago, and he was shaking like a little leaf when he got here, but now you can see he's getting so much love. We have a lot of perfect mutts going around today, and he's such a good boy. Mort is 13. We knew that simply making senior dogs available for adoption wasn't going to be the only ticket to having them get that second chance. Here at Muttville, we also do a lot to get these dogs ready for their new beginnings. So this little girl actually is going to get a dental surgery because she's got some rotten teeth. A lot of traditional shelters don't do a lot of medical care on the animals coming in, but we know that some of these dogs haven't had a lot of veterinary care before coming here. We have an amazing clinic. We focus on dental care, we focus on spaying and neutering and any other surgeries or care so that the dogs feel good and the adopters have a great care plan going forward. Sawyer here is a veterinary technician, and Sawyer, what's happening in our surgery clinic today?
We have a senior dog who was spayed about a month ago. She was spayed late in life, so she has several mammary tumors, of which those are all being removed today. So they're actually removing the entire mammary chain because she had so much tissue involvement.
If a dog doesn't get spayed until late in life, they're at a risk of getting this kind of cancer. So it's super important to spay and neuter our dogs for that reason.
Very common in older females.
Welcome to Muttville's Glam Shampoochery. This is Joe, one of our volunteers at Muttville. Oh, little Georgie, who's actually found stray running on the streets. He actually had 17 teeth extracted, and now he's getting a really nice groom, so he'll be ready to jump in bed with somebody really soon. How's he like it, Joe?
I think he loves the warm water.
Once you go to the muttville.org website, you will be obsessed, and you'll probably start stalking dogs on a daily basis. So we have incredibly cute photos that are on our website, but we also have a live wag cam that is showing the dogs and the activities in our adoption center. So from noon to 4 on muttville.org, click in, and instead of doing all the work on your computer, just be watching the mutts. I'd like to show you, this is our dental area, and there is our sweet Leslie's getting an x-ray.
So you can see that there's no bone holding this tooth in. It's pretty mobile, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pluck it out. She only has 2 teeth, which is pretty common in small dogs, so.
This is a box of teeth, and I want all of you viewers to think about this. How long do you think it took to fill this box of teeth at Muttville? This box was filled in 4.5 months. And that's because we do specialize in older dogs, so many of whom have never had any sort of dental, and they're in pain, and they may have some health issues if we don't get some of those rotten teeth out of their mouths. And so this is just a few of them. These dogs are so special, and one of the things that I hear over and over from people who adopt is just how much people's lives are enriched by adopting senior dogs. And while a senior dog's lifespan may not be as long as a puppy's when you adopt, the richness of what they give is so special. And I think when you go into adopting, you're adopting because you want that companionship and that family member and that love, but also, being able to give back to somebody so special like this means a lot. So while Leslie's not going to live another 14 years, the time that she has is going to be so beautiful. Muttville was the first cage-free shelter in the whole nation, and now we have shelter professionals from all over the world come to see Muttville and to figure out how they can create such a magical space that not only is comfortable for dogs but also comfortable for humans, because if you have a space like this, you can see people come, people are welcome, and they come. Shelters don't have to be scary, and what we are finding is that adoption rates right now are pretty low nationally for dogs, but at Muttville they're getting higher and higher and higher. So part of this building, which our donors made possible, is just attracting people and showing people the magic of these mutts.
Celebrating 30 years of impact, PetSmart Charities continues to be a beacon of hope for pets and their families, championing initiatives that make a tangible difference. I'm here with Miranda Hitchcock, the co-founder of Every Dog Behavior and Training in Austin, Texas. Now, I know that you guys specialize in behavior and training, so many things we can talk about, but this is the adoption show. And so how would you suggest a person who's thinking about adopting a dog, what are the first things you would suggest to them to do before potentially they adopt a dog?
Most important thing for folks to do is really think about what kind of dog they're looking for, right? Not the breed, but what life do they want to have? And also think about what kinds of needs they have for their dog, whether they're looking for a service dog or an emotional support dog, whether they're going to be living in an apartment, maybe they're moving a lot. All these things are going to tell you what kinds of behaviors you need for your dog to be able to tolerate and live with. So I think the most important thing is, instead of people think, I want a small dog or I want a white dog or all
the way
these
it
things.
looks,
Yeah, it's thinking about what life do I want to have with my dog? Do I want to be able to go out to a patio restaurant somewhere? What are the things that are important to me? And that way you can find a dog who ideally can fit into at least some parts of that life with you.
So what do you suggest for people that maybe brought a dog home, they're either in the honeymoon phase or they're realizing really quickly that that phase is over? Like, what's the next step for these people?
So sometimes it's a matter of just making sure you get some things set up and taking it really slow. So generally we recommend, if you've just adopted this dog, give it a few days before you start taking them to a rave.
Or having your whole family over.
Exactly. Anything we can do to set them up for success, get to know kind of who they are. In some cases, you might be adopting from a foster home where you might have great information about them. And sometimes they might have been in a shelter where we have no idea how they're going to respond to things like stares. Watching our dog's body language, watching what they're telling us in those first few days especially, so that we can figure out how to set everyone in the home up for success.
Yeah, I think that's so important, and every dog is such an individual, right? And so if we're seeing dogs do things in our house that are new to our house, what do these people do that just brought this dog into their home? Can you kind of give us some takeaway tips that people can maybe try with their dog or reach out to help?
If you have a dog who comes home and is what I call like a corner dog, like they're stuck in the corner and they don't want to leave it, they don't feel safe, and that's happening for a couple of days, please reach out to somebody, right? There are medical interventions and training interventions that we can use to help those dogs feel more safe. And most of these dogs, if it's been a couple of days and they're feeling like that, it's not just going to get better on its own. Same thing, anytime we get snarling, snapping, growling, anything like that is something that we immediately want to get an expert in there to make sure we're not going to make things worse. It's really easy to end up with accidental dog bites just from a misunderstanding between the dog and the person. So the more that we can go, okay, we figured out what happened, we know how to avoid it, we can build some new communication, we can make sure that everyone stays safe. It's really important to do that. So those are the things where we get lots of anxiety, fear, any kind of aggression symptoms, reactivity symptoms. We want to get in there as quickly as possible with a certified positive reinforcement-based trainer so that we know that we can actually solve those problems for them.
Yeah, 100%. And on that note, I think it's so important for people to realize, like, dogs they speak a different language than us, and sometimes we expect them to understand our language, but we don't fully know their language yet. And just because a dog may be showing something that is a little bit concerning to us doesn't mean that the dog can't stay in your home. How can people, I guess, learn more? Do you have any resources people can take away from this?
Our website, everydogaustin.org, I love because we're a nonprofit and we're doing cool things. But my other favorite thing is that we have a lot of free resources on it. So we do free webinars, usually twice a month, and we have a whole YouTube channel of all of our previous webinars, everything from raising puppies to dealing with trauma to sound sensitivities, just everything behavior related from trainers and behavior consultants all over the world. We want to make sure people can find what they need.
I love that so much. And if you guys don't have a dog yet, you can still reach out and learn these things before you get a dog.
Absolutely.
And that'll just help you have a better relationship. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. This was so fun. Consider fostering if you're not ready to adopt yet. You'll help save a life, free up shelter space, and get a feel for what kind of pet is right for you. I actually fostered him before adopting him. So let's go meet some more dogs that could use a foster or forever home.
With her playful energy and fun-loving spirit, Lanny McNanny is always ready to bring some joy to the day. This 5-year-old, 49-pound girl loves meeting new dog friends and plays really well with others. If you're looking for a happy girl with a heart of gold and a name you won't forget, she'd love to meet you.
Meet Yumi, a joyful little bulldog mix with a giant heart, a goofy streak, and some of the most ridiculous and adorable noises you'll ever hear. Snorts on walks, soft snores during naps, happy little grunts when she stretches. She's a one-dog comedy show. But she's also a fighter.
Dre is 6 months old and truly a gem of a dog. Her foster says she's so easy to live with, incredibly sweet, playful, and cuddly. Dre absolutely adores people, other dogs, and cats. She's so well behaved in the house and loves to learn new things. Her favorite thing to do is sit outside in the sun or run around in her foster's yard.
Tate is as gentle, loving, and kind as he is handsome. At 58 pounds, he's the perfect size for strolls through the neighborhood, playtime in the yard, or curling up beside you after a long day. Tate walks beautifully on a leash, no pulling, no drama, just a happy dog enjoying every step by your side. His curious spirit and easygoing, go-with-the-flow personality make him an instant favorite.
Timber is searching for his new best friend. Having come from a cruelty case, he may be a bit timid at first. However, once he gets to know you, he is extremely loyal. Timber is the kind of dog that blossoms in a loving environment and will form a deep connection with this person. Timber isn't interested in toys. What makes him happiest is snuggle time. He loves to crawl into your lap and lay there for as long as possible.
Okay, Oakley, I officially want to adopt all of the dogs. If you felt the same, reach out to your shelter and make one of those pups part of your family. Now, here's everything you need to know about pet adoption in this week's Adoption A to Z.
G, grooming. Grooming is not just about good looks, it's about their health. Brushing their coat removes dirt, loose fur. Trimming their nails helps prevent an injury and tears. Bathing helps keep their skin healthy. It also teaches trust and handling to both the parent and the pet.
I'm Cassie Davidson. I'm the Vice President of Wings of Rescue. Wings of Rescue is based in California, but our offices are in the sky. So Wings of Rescue has been around since 2012. And since 2012, we have flown 90,000 at-risk shelter pets from overcrowded shelters to receiving partners who have had open kennel space and where no pets have been displaced. The inception of Wings of Rescue was in 2012. It started with a pilot who really just wanted to make a change, and it has just grown exponentially since then. So there are 3 arms to Wings of Rescue. Of course, primarily what we do is we move shelter pets from either overcrowded shelters or disaster areas to areas with open kennel space. That's one part of what we do. The second part of what we do is we actually fly in humanitarian and veterinary aid when there has been a natural disaster. So whether that be the fires in Los Angeles last year or the flooding in Texas, any hurricanes that are hitting the coast, we even fly the Caribbean. So we fly all of North America, Canada, the United States, and of course Caribbean, but we flew into Jamaica last year when they were devastated and brought in almost 10 tons of humanitarian and veterinary aid for them, and then later came back and flew their shelter pets off the island so that they could rebuild. We fly all states. We have flown to or from every state in the United States, as I said, Canada as well. So we focus primarily on the top 3 states that have the highest euthanasia rates, which currently is California, Texas, and Florida. Let's say we're flying out of southern Florida where we have 250 cats on a flight going to several destinations in the Northeast or the Northwest. We may load a plane of large dogs out of California and we load 100 onto our plane. We do fly large scale, so we don't fly for personal pets. We only fly from overcrowded shelters to our current partners. Well, we follow USDA guidelines, so every single pet that gets on our plane is, we follow to the law, to the T, everything that is required to cross state lines. And so all pets are behaviorally evaluated, vaccinated to date. If they're not spayed and neutered at the time, then they will be very quickly as they land. That's part of our agreement. So we don't fly pets that are sick. And we just make sure that everything that we're flying is sound and ready to go directly onto the adoption floor. And I will tell you that our receiving partners, they are so excited to get pets flown to them from other states. They a lot of times will pre-market and put them on social media. There have been times we've shown up at shelters, we landed, let's go eat. And we go to the shelter and there's a line out the door. I want to adopt the Texas pets. I want to adopt the Florida pets. I mean, it's really impressive. People ask us all the time, like, what does it cost to fly pets? And of course, with gas prices surging right now, our flights can start at $20,000 per flight, and they go up from there. We are completely donor funded, and that surprises a lot of people. We don't really get grants. We are supported by a national community. So we fundraise, they support us, and we save lives several times a week. We fly at least twice a week. Well, if you visit our website, wingsofrescue.org, we have so many opportunities, both philanthropic or individual, where if you want to sponsor a flight, we logo the plane, we make sure that you get lots of social media attention, we make sure that we get your name in the news as a community partner. So if you are a community partner who wants to have that level of impact, all you have to do is reach out. We are such a small team for what it is that we accomplish. The volunteers typically are coming from the partners, both sending and receiving shelters. So I would tell anyone watching, volunteer at your local shelter, whether it's walking a dog, bringing newspapers, donating towels, get involved. And if they are a shelter partner, then we will see you on the tarmac.
From what should I buy to how long will it take my dog to settle in? These are real and valid questions from real adopters, and we answer them all in Adoption FAQ. Let's dive in. Okay, Dr. Courtney Campbell.
Yes.
If I'm adopting a new pet,
Okay.
what veterinary care are they going to need?
It's all about that initial visit, right? That initial visit tells us so much. Why is that? Because when you know normals, the abnormal becomes so much more apparent. So when you adopt a new pet, first things first, see a veterinarian, establish that relationship. They can definitely give a very thorough physical exam and identify what's normal for your pet. In addition, they'll talk about ideal time for spaying and neutering, they'll talk about microchipping, and they'll talk about prevention programs like vaccines and parasite prevention programs. So that first visit can mean so much.
Hi, new pet parent. I'm Dr. Renee Schmid with Pet Poison Helpline, and I'm here to give you an essential tip to help with your new pets. Don't forget, be cautious with food items. Many foods safe for humans are hazardous to dogs. Items like that wonderful chocolate, grapes, raisins, onions, and products that contain xylitol, these can all cause serious health problems. Ensure these foods are kept out of reach and educate family members about the dangers of feeding table scraps to your dog.
Every dog we featured today deserves a home, and it could be yours. Scan the code, visit the shelter, and take the leap. You could be changing a life forever. Plus, we'll send you a special gift to get started. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time on The Adoption Show.